Welcome back. Another video from the project that we working on. And in this clip, I would like to show you how to install tiles around the tub. I have videos how to tile regular shower, but not about tiling tub. So in this clip I will try to show you the differences. The installation is pretty much same. We're doing all the same things that we did when installing tiles in a shower, walk-in shower. The biggest difference in this case will be to actually finish tiles around the tub, to the tub and to the sides. Those are pretty much main differences when planning, when checking the layout. So I would like to explain you this here in a few words. What is what, where to start, what to avoid. And yeah, on some other videos that I have from this job, I already showed you how to remove the old tub, how to install new tub, how to prepare walls, how to install the tile board, and how to waterproof it. The waterproofing for the tub is tricky. It's different, a little bit different than for the shower. We do not have a shower pen liner. We have a transition where wall boards meets with the tub. So you can find all of this in one of the other videos from this job on my channel. Everything is explained very well in steps, so you can easily follow if you would like to. And in this clip I will focus on a tile installation. So this is it, and yeah, so let me slowly move forward with that, and well, you will see how it's done. What I got here I have tiles for this room. Here homeowners printed the picture of the accent that they would like me to do, and this is what we will be working on. We have a pencil, we have a 1x2 brick mosaic, and we have OG, and all those pieces already waiting over here. Instead of natural stone, because on the picture we see natural stone, in this project we will use porcelain tiles. Porcelain 12x12 pieces that I have over here. Also we have matching bullnose, something to also look when using porcelain. We want to make sure that we have a matching bullnose available, because this will be used to finish the edges, and the bullnose is usually 3.5 by 12, or accordingly to the size of the tile, and one side is finished. So check for those. And here we have boxes with our tiles. So so these pieces will be something that I will be installing, and I'm going to show you how it's done. This is the top piece. This is our bottom piece over here, and we're gonna move forward with the project in a few moments. So yeah, stay tuned and you will see what's going on. This is our bathroom over there. One of the first things that I'm always doing when it comes to any tile installation around the tub is to protect the tub. Keep that in mind. Acrylic tubs, fiberglass tubs are easy to scratch. This is steel one, but it's also fragile at some point. So we want to make sure to not cause any damage. And I have the lip with the duct tape, because I'll be standing on this edge. Inside we have a plastic, we have a tape on the other wall. So keep that in mind to protect the surface. But well, let me explain you what will be important to consider when starting tile installation. First of all, what we have to do, we have to check the level of the tub, if the tub is leveled. As I mentioned in the other video, when installing the tub, the goal always is to have tub nicely leveled. I'm putting level over here, and this is where I have the bubble. The reason for that, if we have a tub going out of level to the outside, we're gonna end up with the water continuously getting on the edge of the tub and passing the lip of the curtain, shower curtain, and draining to the corner. This is very common issue, very common reason for subfloor to get rotten and for the homeowners to have leaks. So this is it. Please remember about it. Also, if we have a tub sloping to the inside, we will not have a problem with water getting over here, but we will end up with a problem of water sitting actually in the corners, causing mold, causing grout discoloration, and some other crap. So if you're doing this type of installation for you, if the tub is not level, make sure to level it, because you will end up with the problems. I'm telling you that, that's for sure. Not next week, not month from now, but year to 5 years down the road, you will regret that you actually didn't work on the tub before installing tiles. In this project we have a new tub. The old tub had some damage, was also out of level, so in order for us to perform tile installation the way it should be done, tub got replaced, so everything is nicely leveled, and I'm ready to follow up with the tile installation. Of course we have to figure where to start, but one more thing, also very important. If we have working with a new tub, the tub been just installed, everything is leveled, I'm assuming all this surface against the walls is in the same line. So what it means, we do not have to do any cuts to the bottom. All the tiles will nicely rest on the lip of the tub, on the edge. But I understand that you might do not have funds to level the tub, or the tub that you installed has slightly crooked lip, and there's nothing that you can do. So what I'm always doing, I'm always checking with the level which corner or which side is the lowest point. For example, in this case we have everything leveled, but let's say we have a situation when this outside edge is a little bit higher than the other one. The goal always is to start from the lowest point. If we starting with a solid piece from the bottom, and this is how I'm usually trying to start, it's from the solid piece on the bottom and to finish with a solid piece on the top. This way it looks the cleanest. I'm always checking where is the lowest point, because in the lowest point we can fit the nice solid piece. And let's say if this side goes slightly higher, or this side slightly goes higher, making this point, let's say, of the tub our lower point, I'm starting from the lower point, because line will be where the tile work will be done will be perfectly in level, so all the changes in a distance I can adjust by cutting tiles from the bottom a little bit. If we will start just whatever, or if we will start from the highest point, what will happen, following the mark on the wall in the level line, we will end up with a bigger and bigger and bigger gap on the bottom. and it doesn't look good, doesn't look clean. So yes, please check the level on the side walls, please check the level on the back wall, and choose starting point from the lowest point against the wall. In case when we're trying to achieve certain dimensions, certain height, of course we can just draw the line a little bit lower than the distance of the tile. In this case, every single tile will be cut to the tub, and this way it will fit for sure, because you have a room to play with. And in this case, I'm not 100% sure how I'm going to do it yet, if I'm going to start from the solid piece or if I'm going to start from the cut, a little bit shorter piece, because one of the goals, you see, I have a window over there, and I want to make sure that my tile work look decent or appropriate also to the window. So because of the window, I might just adjust the bottom row of the tiles. So we'll see. But this is one thing. Another thing, when it comes to tiling, we always start tiling from the solid piece on the sides and doing cuts to the corner on each side. Center wall, we always start from the center. We do not start tiling just from the corner and whatever we've got. No. We're starting tiling from the center. This way tile work will look the nicest. I'm assuming know what I'm talking about. And yeah, some videos on the internet you can see contractor just showing crappy work to get your attention, and they just starting whatever. Don't do that. Also, the goal is to have the solid piece on the top. We have a higher ceiling, so we have room. Also, we always tiling higher than the shower head. You see the shower head over there, so we always want to make sure to have the tiles going higher. And I'll show you this in just a moment. So stay tuned. I'm slowly playing with the layout and figuring out where to start, where to set the first joint. And as I mentioned, most of the times when we have the open wall, no window, and taller ceiling, we trying to have solid piece on the bottom, exactly solid piece, and the solid piece on the top. So whatever the solid piece will work out, this is how high the tile work will end. When we're dealing with the window, we usually trying to raise the level of the tiles so it actually nicely frames the window around and goes even slightly higher. In this case, what we have to do, we have to finish tile work to the window, and it will be nice to have also tiles kind of center to the window if possible. Looks like it's something like, that I can achieve. So what I'm always doing, I'm grabbing a piece of tile and I'm checking how to start. We can start with a solid piece going through the window, and then whatever will be on the bottom. In this case, in order to achieve the biggest cut on the bottom, what I will do, I'm going to start with the joint appearing in the middle of the window. So this is how I'm actually marking it. Middle of the window, let's say, appears to be somewhere here. I will measure that later. So later we have one more piece on the top, and then our finish edge, bullnose style, wrapping all the way around. So this is how I'm checking this out. So we have one solid piece going from this point, then we have another one, I'm doing mark, another one, and another one. Whatever will be to the tub will be to the tub. Of course, keep in mind to have the cut to the tub as big as it can be. Alright, so I'm measuring from the window, from the glass piece. We have 5.5 inches, so 2.5 plus a quarter, 2 3/4 will be center, where actually our tile work will appear to be over here. So this is this mark. Next, what I'm doing, I'm putting the solid piece and I'm doing my first mark where actually the bottom of the tile appeared to be. And then, in this case, grout spaces will be 3/16 of an inch, because this is the most recommended size of the grout joint for the porcelain tiles, 3/16. We can do 1/8. We have a nice product, well calibrated tiles. And I did the first mark on the bottom. Now I'm putting the piece here and doing another mark, and I'm leaving space of 3/16 of an inch between my marks. So this is actually where this grout space will be. I'm doing another mark on the bottom, then I'm leaving the gap for the grout. As you can see, I have a mark higher from the bottom, and this is how the tiles will work out later. Now I'm making mark against the tile, and here, also leaving the space, I'm making another mark on the bottom. And now, from that point, this is my last row of tiles, I'm gonna add another 3/16 of an inch, and this is how I'm gonna actually place my level accordingly with this mark, and this is where the first roll will end. The first roll of tiles will end. So this is it. This is what I just showed you is in case we do not have any accent tiles. If we do just squares or rectangular pieces, this is how it goes. In this project we have an accent. We have an accent that I showed you. So I started from from the center of the window. I have my mark over here, and now I'm going to place the accent over here. So what happens, what we have to do, this is our accent here on the floor. I'm grabbing the pieces of the accent. We have a top piece. We have those mosaic tiles that we already cut to the appropriate size. And what I'm gonna do, I'm going to measure the width of the accent. Looks like we have a 6 1/4. 6 1/4 is the width of our accent. So what happens, from that mark, what I had the bottom of the tile marked, I'm going to mark 6 1/4 for the accent. The accents of course vary depending on the type of the accent. So here, from that point, from the top where the tile sits, we have a 6 1/4 for the accent. So this is this point, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to do same story, same situation. I'm placing my tile where my point was, and marking the same way as previously. The bottom, then doing spacing for the grout, marking the bottom, then making another mark, and we're gonna end up with the tile being cut to the top, so we have a smaller piece. But this is actually what homeowners requested from me, so I'm adjusting all the tile work that way, and we're gonna end up with a half of the tile on the bottom. It's gonna be almost half of the tile, and solid piece on the top, and also accent. So once I have the bottom piece, this is actually where my bottom row of tiles will be starting here. So once I have our mark ready, what I will do, I'm going to place the level, and I'm going to mark this all the way around. The level that we have, this is actually where the first row of tiles will end, and this is how I will measure it later. So it goes here, then it continues to the other side. Here will be a little bit tricky situation. No, actually no, I just made it above the faucet line, so I have still room to do my mark above the faucet. So this is it, and same situation on the other side. Ostrość ma? Making sure everything is in level. Doing my mark. Yeah, I'm going to start tiling from the first row. What you can do, you can put a wooden block against the line and start from the second row of tiles, so there is no pressure put on the bottom row, but I'm not doing it that way. I'm doing like this in the showers. Okay, the next thing will be to grab our center. What I'm doing, of course, I'm checking how wide the wall is. We have 59L. So I'm going to put 29 3/4. 29 3/4 appears to be center of our wall. And now I'm going to check on the size of the cuts to the corners, because we can start either from the center with the tile going like that, and this is one option. So in this case appears that we have the cut that will be about 5.5. Another option is actually to mark the half on the tile and start from the solid tile in the center. This way we have a bigger cut to the corner. Looks like this is most likely what I will do, because the cut in this corner will be smaller, and we want to make sure that the tile work looks like nice continuation. So if we're doing smaller cut here, the goal will be to have a bigger cut over here, or vice versa. Sometimes there's no really option, so we have to have two smaller cuts or two bigger cuts in the corner, and this is just how it's done. So sometimes there's not much more we can do, because like I said, highly not recommended to do any cutting to the finished edge. It's just looking very bad. So, but yeah, so in this case, the way it will be done, I'm gonna have exactly half. Right now I'm marking exactly half of the tile, and I'm putting this here. This is with where the mark is. So this tile is centered. The distance from each side to the corners should be exactly same. I'm going to mark a line over here, and this is actually how my this is actually lined the way my grout joint will be going. So now I'm putting level and making sure that we got level. We have two bubbles usually on a level, so I'm checking with both, because sometimes levels are not working. So the goal is to make sure that it's leveled, and I'm doing mark. And this mark will actually continue above the window, because the top row of tiles appears to be finishing above the window somewhere. So this is my first joint. I'm never drawing any grout joints on the walls. As you can see on some of the videos, it's not the precise way to go, and I'm always keeping nice consistent grout spaces, smaller and better. And only marks that I'm making over here will be the bottom roll and the line, center line. So this is how it's done, and you will see later how I'm installing the tiles. So this is it. Another thing, we have to finish our tiles somewhere here, right? And pretty much always we will use matching bullnose pieces. This is bullnose edge that actually matches to our tile, and the way that the tiles should be put in around the tub will be to have actually bullnose tile going along the edge of the tub and the solid piece over here. So what I'm always doing, putting level against the side of the tub and making my mark accordingly. Okay. Sometimes the side of the tub is uneven, so we want to make sure to adjust this, but pretty much I have it right now. I want to make sure everything is nice and level, and I'm doing my mark over here. This is where our tiles will start. This is where the side wall will start, and on the other side of this line we will have a bullnose. So I'm marking a little bit higher, and the solid piece will go to this mark, and the bullnose will be separated 3/16 of an inch on the side. You see, this is how it's going to look like later. Nice clean spaces, 1/8 up to 3/16. I'm never doing 1/4 of an inch because it looks very unprofessional, or bigger. Sometimes another solution, the way we can finish, let's say we cannot find matching bullnose, the great solution will be to actually finish also with such piece. This piece is rounded, we call it pencil, and it can be also used as a finishing edge. Let's say you found the tile, you cannot find the bullnose, and you don't like to leave the unfinished edge on the side, because I've never leave it tiling so the unfinished edge is exposed. It looks very bad. What I'm always doing, I'm bringing actually the solid tile a little bit farther, let's say another 3 inches above the lip, and doing my mark farther, and here later, instead of the bullnose, I'm installing this finishing piece. So this finishing piece goes all the way around. It's a really nice way of finishing. I'm usually finishing like that when working with the natural stone, because there's no bullnose tiles available for the most of the natural stone products. But for the porcelain, just regular bullnose is less expensive, and homeowners usually will pick matching bullnose. It also looks nice, but this is another solution. So then I will cut another piece here, and the pencil will go all the way to the bottom. And in this case, when working with the bullnose also goes all the way to the bottom, and the wooden trim, if we do a wooden trim, wooden baseboard will always go to the side of the tile. Do not run wooden trim to the top, because any water that might be splashing here, usually those are the sections, will damage it later. So we're finishing always wooden trim to the tile. In this project I'm going to have a baseboard, tiled baseboard. So tiled baseboard will go to the top, and the bullnose will finish to the baseboard. So the goal is to avoid any wood in these sections. So yeah, so I have my mark over here. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side, but you already have seen it on this wall. So this is it. And my next step will be actually to kind of roughly mark where tiles ends before I will measure my cuts. Same situation here, and as you can see, we have a smaller cut here at the corner. So now we will have nicer, bigger piece in the corner here and smaller over here, and it will look like nice continuation. Okay, so I'm at the point where I'm starting figuring out tiles, all the cuts. So in this case, this is our main joint, so this tile will go against this, and here we have a space for 3/16 of an inch, our grout joint. So in order for me to find out this cut, because I'm always doing the first wall up front, I'm making mark and then adding another 3/16. So this is actually point where we'll go to the corner. Here tile goes against the line, so we have one mark over here. Then I'm leaving space for the grout, and it's pretty much the way I already have marked. Somewhere over here we will have this corner tile finishing. So those marks will give me the length of the cut. But well, the way I'm starting always, I want to make sure that there's no any debris here on the bottom. And what I will be checking, I'm checking from the centerpiece. Looks like we have a 5 1/4 inch cut over here, and next one will be here. We have the same situation, and in the corner we have also same situation. So I'm marking. We have 5 1/4. This is straight cut. Another cut to the corner will be also 5 1/4, and distance here it will be 11 3/8. So I'm marking 11 3/8. Now I'm going to another side. 5 1/4, 5 1/4, and in the corner we actually have to change it because the top slightly, the edge of the top slightly goes higher in this corner. So we have 1/8. This is just the way the top been manufactured. So I'm making notes. 5 1/4. We're gonna have two pieces for 5 1/4, and then the corner piece actually changes. So we have here we have 11 3/8. It's to the wall. We have 11 3/8, and the height will be in the corner 5 1/8, and on the other side we have 5 1/4. So this one actually will be cut in an angle. I'm always recommending to cut to the appropriate distance. Some contractors will just do all the cuts the same size, and then they try to lose these differences, but it never looks good. So yeah, so this is this wall. On the other side, same situation. 5 1/4, 5 1/4, 5 1/4. Before I will cut this piece, I need to have this one in place. So I'm going to install the first roll, those two, and once I have that done, I will measure the corner pieces. So the first roll is always the most challenging, takes the most of the time to figure it out, and I'm kind of trying to explain you what is what and how to start. So stay